Luke chapter 6, verse 26. Start with this precept first. It says, Luke 6:26. So Yahawashi said, he said, "Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers speak to the false prophets," man. Like I said, call Elohim La Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. So give it the honest L's of GMS and honest to the Akim, and peace and bless to you brothers and sisters that listen, hopeful elect. Like Yahawashi said, man, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers speak, so further their fathers to the false prophets, man. All right. So when the world loves you and they give you your own holiday and you're greatly praised, you are a false prophet, man. You are a friend of the world, and by default, you are enemy of the Most High, man. And that goes for Martin Luther King and men like him, okay? These sellout leaders, okay? These leaders that you see on the mainstream, they were all set up, man, all right? They were bought and paid for. And like even Martin Luther King said, they never bring that speech up, which we did videos on this guy before. He said he felt like he was leading his people to a burning house, man. They only show the I Have a Dream speech, but they don't show after, where he regretted and he tried to renege on the deal. And he started speaking out against the Vietnam War, and Esau got rid of him. Okay? Put his ass to death, man. All right? And it was through Martin Luther King policies that destroyed a lot of quote-unquote black businesses and destroyed our people in general, because we integrated more and more into white society, man. And we see the effect of that today. Jake is more lost and bugged out than they ever been. Okay? That the household is destroyed. Everything is destroyed. Okay? Socioeconomically, Israel, because of that guy and men like him, I'm going to get some documents and bring it out to the spirit of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, destroyed our people, man. Okay? Okay? Because you want to, Scripture says, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, man. Okay, you're not supposed to choose his ways, man. That's why the Bible deals with separation. The Bible deals with segregation. The Most High said that what? He severed us from other people. After this, let me get some articles. Leviticus 20:24. What did the Most High say? Leviticus 20:24. He said, 26. And he shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, am holy, and I severed you from other people, that he should be mine. The Most High separated us. He cut us off from other people that we can be his. And he gave us a unique set of laws, man. A unique system to be like him, to be in his image and to be in his likeness. Because every time we joined ourselves to the heathen, what happened? We were destroyed and we got punished for it, man. And that's what this guy was teaching. And let me get some documents. Let's see. Bring out two brief documents, and they show him the picture with Jacob Rothschild, Nelson Rockefeller. This guy was juiced in. He was set up. These are the people who set up. Matter of fact, let me read this article first. It says, this came out 2019, so not that long ago. It says Black History Month, which is next month. That's why it's good to get on these videos now. You see, Black History Month celebrating famous Black Freemasons. Wow, see? It says start digging into history of Freemasonry and you will discover Duke Ellington was one of the many renowned African American musicians, which all these musicians are Masons today, to be inducted into this mysterious world. This is from The Guardian. He was joined by the likes of Nat King Cole. Wow. See that? All these musicians. MC Handy, Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, Lion Hampton, and Paul Robeson. Right? Musicians. He said, by the 1900s, Prince Hall Masonry, which Albert Pike said Freemasonry is witchcraft, man. Okay? They follow the Lord of the Light, which they hold that to be Lucifer. Which Esau is that Lucifer, man. But it's just Satan worship, man. Okay? All right, and it says, by 1900, Prince Hall Masonry had become a form of politicized African Americans, with Booker T. Washington, who's one of the designers for Washington, D.C., also a great inventor as well. It says, and W. Du Bois, I believe he was a sociologist. There's another article I'm going to bring out on him, and an activist. All right. And he also set up the NAACP in the early 1900s, man. Which is all set up by Edomites, man. Quote unquote liberals. All right. Who had their own set of, had their own agenda. And they just use you niggas, man. Okay. Because I'm going to just read a little of this and jump to the boule. Who benefits from this quote called civil rights today? The LGBTQ community, man. Okay? They hijacked that entire thing. Look at Black Lives Matter. It's run by 3 lesbians, man. Okay? That's why you shouldn't have fought for that in the first place, man. See? Serving as active members throughout the 20th century, many key figures in the civil rights movement were attracted to Freemasonry. The father of Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King Sr., was a member of the 23 Lodge in Atlanta, Georgia. The Martin Luther King ass was also a part of the Boule. I'm going to read that. Medgar Evers, the National Associate Advisors of Colored People, NAACP, was assassinated in 1963, was a 32nd degree Freemason. Thurgood Marshall, Sugar Ray Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, all of these dudes, Richard Pryor. So all these guys were Masons, man. Because that's how you make it in this world, man. Especially if you're an Israelite, man. You got to trade in your soul. But all of these leaders, and I'm going to get scriptures on it, they're all down with the brotherhood, man. Al Sharptongue, Jesse Jackass, all of them, man. Down to your mega preachers. Okay? You see, they sold out, man. Down to these fake-ass Israelite camps, man. Like Yahawah, who took the bag, man. All right? Blind leaders of the blind. All right, let me get this other article now. Let me get some scriptures, man, because we did videos on this guy before. We're not gonna do a whole autobiography on this dude, but he wasn't right, man. And they got all kind of tapes exposing this dude. It says, let's see. This article says, was black fraternity the Boule created to destroy Marcus Garvey and his Back to Africa movement, which were not Africans. So Marcus Garvey was going off on that, man. Okay, we ain't Africans, man. Africa was just the middle passage. We didn't start there and we wouldn't end up there, man. Period, man. Okay? And now let me read this. I'm going to skip to some points and get to the precepts. It says, in the era of deep-rooted segregation, when black people or Israelites, because we're not no freaking black, were not allowed to join most predominantly white professional cultural organizations, emerged the Boule, also known as the Sigma P5, whatever that is, founded in 1904 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Henry Micken Minton and colleagues, the Boule was America's first black Greek letter fraternity. You see? Which we know the scripture should be popping in your mind. During the Maccabees, man. The same wicked niggas coming back. It says the 5,000 member fraternity, which chapters set up in Chicago, Baltimore, and other cities, has featured some of the most distinguished and influential black men in the nation, including W. Du Bois and Martin Luther King Jr. See? Part of the Boule, man. Okay? So he was do all kind of homosexuality. We know what you got to do to get in them fraternities, man. Okay, and these Amalekites are behind him. Okay? See? So, man, come on. These are black men who have been and are leaders in the struggle for civil rights, social justice, economic and educational equality. So in all facets, man, okay? These top men in these top positions, all right, in these top industries are part of the Boule. All right? All right? It goes deeper than just the music industry, because people just think only rappers are part of the quote-unquote Illuminati or secret societies. Man, all your leaders, all right? All these politicians, okay? They're all part of it, man. All these quote-unquote activists or civil rights leaders, they were all a part of it back then. All right, I'm going to read a brief history on it, and I'm going to just get to the scriptures. It says, unlike undergraduate fraternal organization, membership is limited to men. We know that. Let me jump down. The prestigious professional fraternity was in its early years viewed as a secret organization until 1982. What's so secret about it? If they were doing, if they were benefiting their own people. Why was it so secret, man? Okay. Because what? Boule, what they advises to the king. Let me read this here. It says, conspiracy theorist and futurologist Steve Coakley, seen as the first to shine the light on the Boule in the early mid-90s, is reported to have described the fraternity as powerful gatekeepers and foot soldiers for white supremacy. Yup. And it says it is even documented that Du Bois, the founding member of New York City chapter of the Boule, once said, the Boule was created to keep black professionals away from Marcus Garvey, man. Because what did Marcus Garvey wanted to do? He wanted to, black people to the people of the diaspora to go back to Africa, man. To separate from Esau, man. So W. Du Bois and prominent blacks rose up to stop that. Okay? Now let me read on down. It says, so I'll just get brief on Marcus Garvey. I'm not going to read all the article. Let me read W. Du Bois and why he started the Boule. W. Bois, from the more privileged background, worked on improving the condition of African Americans, but he wanted this by working with liberal whites. Throughout his organization, the NAACP, which he founded some 4 years after the Boule. In effect, W. Bois wanted to push shining examples of black citizenry front and center for white America to see. See? They're having a dying love for the oppressor, man. So people so accomplished it will be hard to deny them their rightful place in society. So all these guys was a clown, man. Okay? No matter what Esau do, they still just wanted equality with him, man. That's why the scripture says Israel is a homeborn slave. And that's why the Most High said that you are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. All right? Which, Marcus Garvey, that wasn't the solution either, man. To go join ourselves, go back to Africa, man. America, this is the place of our captivity, point blank, period, man. Yahawashi got to come and get us back out. But we see these quote unquote prominent leaders where their mind was, man. Okay. Let me see here we go. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna get the scriptures. W. Bois stressed, according to Coakley, the importance to steal the black professional away from Garvey because of Afrocentric organization that articulate and capture the black professional would give Whitey no safe haven in the black community. So the Boule, the remaking of the house Negro, because that's what they were, was necessary to build a group of Negroes who had an investment in protecting the white system, as produced by Whitey have stolen this land. This is post-Reconstruction, taking away the articulate Negro, now desiring to replace them with organized institutions to keep them away from self-improvement. Because these leaders sold us out, man. So they can remain in their position, man. Okay? That's why these quote-unquote civil rights leaders joined themselves to the quote-unquote Democratic Party, which gave our people more handouts, right? Join yourself to these liberal whites, all right? And then you had the feminism movement came right after that. They put Eve right over you, man. Put Eve right over Jake, man. You see? And that destroyed the household. Them came guns and drugs and the whole nine, man. And they know the evils that they doing to you, but they don't care. Because they pacifists. Okay? As long as they remain in their seat, they don't care. And they're the same ones who told you to go out there and vote for Joe Biden. Which you shouldn't be voting for Joe Biden or Trump, because they both the devil, man. All right? And it says, the Boule was founded what was called the Four Black Male Alpha Pi Alpha Kappa. So the rest of those fraternities come out of the Boule, man. See? So that was a brief history on that. Let me get some scriptures now. So this guy was a false prophet, man. Bottom line, he was tied to the Boule. He was a Mason. So was his father, and his father was a Mason, man. All right? So he was trained, man. And the head of the civil rights movement was these Amalekites and homosexual Jakes. All right? Homosexual influential Jakes who were part of the Boule. All right? That's what the Most High said. Jeremiah 23:25. I have heard what the prophet said that prophesied lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, man. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? They are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, man, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. See? So the Most High said he heard the prophets, man. They're prophesying lies. Martin Luther King was a false prophet. He was a liar. And he was a coon and a sellout. All right? That's what the Most High said in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 20. You get these scriptures, man. They don't want to do nothing too long. But, we have to go on this guy. It says Deuteronomy 18 and 20. But the prophets which shall speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, of that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. Okay, so he was a Baptist preacher. And like these guys, they were down with Satan, man. Down with the Boule, Freemasonry. That's just all a front. And if thou say in thy heart, how shall we know that the word which Yahawashi shall have not spoken? When a prophet speak in the name of Yahawashi shall, if the thing follow not nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yahawashi shall have not spoken. So he was teaching that he had a dream that, he saw the slave and the slave master sitting at the table of brotherhood. That's never happened, man. There's a great gulf fixed between Jacob and Esau. There's great division, right? There was division in the womb. There was enmity between the two. So the two can never come together. We didn't come together back then. Right? We came out of Egypt. We tried to pasture the land of Edom. They rejected it, man. And these Amalekites attacked us from the back. And the Most High swore that he would make war with Amalek from generation to generation. We knew they rebelled underneath Judah. Okay? During the time of King Ahaz, during the time of when the Babylonians came in, the Greeks, the Romans, unto the day, man. The Renaissance period. So we can never come together, man. That's a lie. But the Boule, when we read the scriptures, we get 2nd Maccabees. Because a lot of you guys, you just backing your lot, man. You're backing your lot. Let me see. We see. Let me see. We read Jeremiah chapter 2, verse. This is the Most High getting in on Israel. He said, and I'm going to jump to Maccabees. Jeremiah 2 and 8. The priest said not, where is Yahawashi Shah? They have handled the law, knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me. And the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walk after things that do not profit, joining yourselves to Esau, man. That never profited us, man. We got worse. Wherefore will I yet plead with you, saith Yahawashi Shah, and with your children's children will I plead. That's why 2/3 gonna get their ass kicked. All right. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see and send unto Kedar and consider gingerly and see if there be such a thing. So the Most High said he will plead with you, man. That's why they said, let his blood be on our head and on our children when the Lord got crucified. See, and they said they have no king but Caesar. Oh, man. Israel, man. You see, that's why I'm going to read the book of Maccabees right now. 2nd Maccabees chapter 14. When you go into the Feast of Nicanor and you go into, mainly the Feast of Nicanor, which is comes right before Purim. It says, who was one of Judah's enemies? We're going to read 2nd Maccabees chapter 14, verse 1. After 3 years was Judas informed that Demetrius, which I believe was the son of Seleucus IV, who killed his cousin Antiochus Eupator, Antiochus Epiphanes' son. Right? It says, Demetrius, the son of Seleucus, having entered by the haven of Tripolis with a great power and navy, had taken the country and killed Antiochus, his son, and Lysias, his protector. Now one, Alchemus, who had been high priest, a wicked nigger, had defiled himself willingly in the times of their mingling with the Gentiles. He defiled himself. He made himself uncircumcised. He loved the way of the Greeks better. And he was a high priest, a leader of the people, man. Same thing like these prominent, quote unquote, blacks today. All right. That's a part of the boule. All right. Seeing that by no means he could save himself, nor any more access to the holy altar, came to King Demetrius in 150 year, presented unto him a crown of gold and a palm. See, joining himself to the oppressor, and also the bowls which were used solemnly in the temple, so that day he held his peace. All right. And pretty much what he told the king was, Judas Maccabees is bucking up. He's a headache. There ain't gonna be no peace unless this guy is dead. So pretty much giving up Judas Maccabees, man. All right. And that's why Demetrius called Nicanor to take down Judas Maccabees, and Nicanor got his ass handed to him. He got defeated, man. But who was the start of the cause of that? A wicked ass nigga alchemist, man, a high priest. Or the scripture says he willingly defiled himself, man. All right. In the ways and tradition of the Gentiles, aka the Greeks. And that's how Jake became Hellenized. And we see today, prominent black leaders are part of the boule. Okay. And which is what they're advisors to the king. They're gatekeepers. They protect their master's secrets, man. And in return, he put them in these top positions. All right. And that's no different with Martin Luther King, man. And when he went off script, Esau dealt with him because he made a covenant with death. That's why I'm going to read this scripture right here. Book of 1 Maccabees. And this is going to happen to all of you, man. That scripture says the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that led of them are destroyed, man. All right. It started with the leadership. Let me read this right here. And this is happening to you guys right now. It's going to happen to you, man. I'm going to probably just read the scripture right here and that'll be it. 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10. This is Matthias, all right, the father of Judas Maccabees, all right, what they call the Hasmonean dynasty. It says, 1 Maccabees 2 and 10, for what nation have not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? Yeah, all nations, man, all right, all nations, man, had their way with us, man, okay, let me read on down. All our ornaments are taken away of a free woman, she has become a bond slave, and behold, our sanctuary, even our heaven, our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it, the Greeks. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? Then Matthias and his sons rent their clothes, and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Matthias also and his sons came together. Right? Then answered the king's officers and said to Matthias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like all the heathen have done. Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem, so shalt thou in thy house be in the number of the king's friends. And thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. All right. And then it says, then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice, do all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers, man. And that's what we doing, man. All right. Most High forbid we shall forsake the law and the ordinance. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right or on the left. See, that's the spirit you got to be in. Now, when he had left speaking these words, they came under the Jews in the sight of all the sacrifice of the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment, which thing when Matthias saw, he was inflamed with zeal. So he saw a Jew doing what the king's officers told him to do. He was sacrificing the altar, all right, to these pagan gods. And his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to the judgment, wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar, man. Call on him, Yahawashi. Also, the king's off commissioner, who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Call on him, Yahawashi, man. That's why the scripture says, everyone that's joined unto them shall be thrust through, man. Let me tell you, Israelites, today, man. You keep joining to this, man. The Most High is going to thrust you through with those missiles, man. Or whatever plague or judgment that's coming down on this earth. You're going to get caught up in his wrath. All right? So with that, I'm going to say, call him Yahawashi, Shalom.